something better doesn't come easy. You have to be persistent and you have to be resilient. What I did, I told him is okay. I choose some few engineers from there. And I told them, I have money, I will pay you. So when you finish job at the Kenya vehicle manufacturing industry at 4 p.m., because they leave at around 4:30, you pass through, I leased a workshop near there in Thika, so that when they leave the job, they can come and work on my prototype. The engineer there helped me to do the proper specification, because you have to say the capacity of the motor you want, is this 3 kilowatt, is this 2 kilowatt, the capacity of battery that you want, is it a 24 volt or a 12 volt battery that will power. We have to do all those analysis. So they really helped me to do all those analysis. Then now the fabrication, do you use steel, do you use fiberglass, what do you use for this particular Mkokoteni? So after we did that, we sent the design to China, and now they ship the component to Thika. Then I release a workshop there. So when they leave work, they come, we work for it. After 1 month, we have done a workable prototype. The same MD from Thika came to see it, and told them, you lied to me. Why is it working now?
How come his is working?
It is and you have done it.
And the difference could be the leadership, because sometimes you look at something and when you as a leader think it's impossible, then you leave it. But so, you had the grit to keep going.
So from there, now is to register with the government, classification, patenting, and all that. And now
did you do that process?
Yes.
Did you do that process? Did you
register? I followed the process. I went to the KIPI, they are the government patenting agent. I hired an agent to draft a patent for me. And after 18-month publication, because it is normally published for 18 months, if no one claims it, then that patent belongs to you. So after 18 months, the patent was given to me. So no one globally can do an electric handicap apart from me. If you do it, we are with you in the next movement. So after that now is classification. It has also, we have what we call Tariff and Classification Authority in Kenya. If the product is not in the ECOWAS or the East African Community catalog, it has to be put there. So it has to be debated here in Parliament, then in our East African Community Parliament, for it to be included in the catalog. So that if you have to sell it across, it is acceptable.
So Kenneth, I know that in your video earlier, we've watched and we've seen how you then started with the MVP, and I think you mentioned that other opportunities began to come up. So speak to us about what opportunities came up now post the MVP.
So other opportunities that came up was after I did that project successfully. There came another competition now from the Royal Academy of Engineering, that is from the royal family. And they needed 16 entrepreneurs or rather innovators globally. In Africa, they selected only Kenya, South Africa, and Egypt. The rest were Brazil, China, US, UK. So I was among the 16 that were selected. So I was taken to the training again to the Paris. That is in the year 2017.
And you submitted your application with this Mkokoteni?
Yes.
Now as an MVP?
Yes, that's my project. And now we were trained there for 2 months. After training, again, when I came back, I was given a grant of 5 million Kenya shillings. Which now I figured out and realized now the project is shaping up. But that time I didn't have anything to do with e-mobility. It was to solve the Mkokoteni idea. But now the aspect of e-mobility started coming in. The SDG 13 on climate action started coming in. And I started aligning now my business to go fully into e-mobility. And that is when I decided to introduce now an electric 6-seater tuk-tuk.
And that's the one that we saw on the video, which is quite impressive, I must say.
So what happened is that the same Royal Academy now introduced another program called Africa Prize for Engineering Innovation for Africa alone. I also applied.
And all this while you're not even an engineer.
Yes, I applied again as an engineer. I was selected among the 10. We went now for it was 8-month training, starting from Cape Town, South Africa. Then we went to Kampala, Uganda. Then we went back now to the Paris. Then graduation is a pitch before the Queen and all those people you see at the Palace. They invite them, Bill Gates and all those entrepreneurs to mentor you. And now it is during that period that our ambassador communicated to Kenya that a Kenyan is at the Paris. And I was appointed now to end research and innovation at the National Youth Service.
And how was that experience?
When I went to the National Youth Service that I was able to access the engineering facility to manufacture locally the tuk-tuk that you saw.
So how was that experience with young people? Because I guess, yes, you were the head of research and in the engineering department. How was there interest from young people? Those are the NYS in terms of coming up with similar ideas or some ideas. Yeah. Were you seeing that kind of interest there?
Yes, what I wanted to develop there was actually a policy to guide the young people that the small concept that they normally do, the small thing that they normally do can make them billionaires. Because in those forums I've interacted with several young people who are developing even application to solve maybe a problem in agribusiness, a problem in money payment, and they are making billions out of that. It's just the same way, like whoever came up with the Please Call Me voice, is a multi-billion project with Safaricom. Yes. So there are young people who are taking advantage of those small innovation and moving with them, patenting them, and making money out of that.
So was that successful within the NYS?
Yeah, it was successful because now at the National Youth Service, they have an innovation and research department, which was created for the first time. And now they have established a policy to guide innovation at the National Youth Service. Because beside this, of course, I introduced other innovations there.
Okay. Yeah. And then tell me about your interaction now. How did Apple find you? Like, how did that happen? How
I came to meet these people is a company called Privateer. Privateer is actually the owners of Apple. Is that a friend called Mr. David Meek came to Kenya to look for opportunities to connect SMEs and MSMEs online. Because actually today, any business that you do, if you are not online, you are limiting your market to wherever you are. Yeah. And now, the technology that we are deploying requires a lot of IoT, how to monitor these electric vehicles, payment model. You have seen bus go on the road, it is cashless. You have to pay through account, you have to swap and charge. All those services requires IoT, internet connectivity. Yeah. And that's how now the company that is associated with Apple partnered with me, and we formed a joint venture called Innovate Technologies to deal with e-mobility and internet connectivity. Prior to that, I am partnered with a company that is also in partnership with Hitachi, called Andimire Energy from the US and Dubai, to do a local assembly for electric vans, electric buses, and electric trucks. Reason being, the previous regime gave me an assembler status and a license to assemble any electric vehicle or any motor vehicle that I want to sell. So mine is to partner with that.
So tell me, just two more questions. The first one is, the electric Mkokoteni, the electric handcart, is that now being used in the country? Have you managed to do scale production or mass production of the electric handcart?
Yes, so what we are doing is that deploying such technology requires that you do mass production. If you do one at an order, then it will become very expensive for them to purchase. Yeah. So we have piloted it, and they realize that some entities like airport require them for very soon for using the airport. Hospitals were made several for Kenyatta National Hospital, but those are corporate. But my target market was not actually
corporate. It's the informal sector.
It was this informal sector.
And how are you working towards that vision?
So informal sector, we are partnering with the SACCOs, so that because these people, even those who normally do those Mkokotenis, are not the real owners. There are some people who have money. They go and they fabricate a large number of those Mkokoteni. They write their numbers there. Then you go and release in the morning, you give him some money. In the evening, you return to the owner. So you make your money, you give him like 200 shillings to lease that Mkokoteni. So it's the same model that we want to apply, but in an organized manner, so that we can even get the bank to support them to do that.
And that, for me, speaks of the issue of understanding your market. Because it's true that the people who actually used to push or pull those mkokotenis or the handcarts may not even afford. But it's brilliant, and it's a fantastic idea to be able to use SACCOs, because SACCOs are basically your savings and credit corporations or, schemes. And they help you to be able to consolidate your finances and enable those people who may not necessarily be able to afford as individuals to be able to borrow and then repay at a, on a loan, as a loan basis at a very low interest rate, lower than banks, which then means that they're able to run their businesses, and at the same time you're addressing the issue of the environment, addressing the issue of climate action by removing, because it's a direct contributor to waste management for the most part, which is an excellent idea. So understanding your market is one of those things that I realize as well from what you're saying that needs to be a component of every innovator. Know how to take that brilliant idea and make sure that the original people that gave you the inspiration are the ones that are benefiting from your idea. And so in closing, Kenneth, please speak to the camera and just speak to those young people who may have an idea and they're constantly being told no. What do they do?
Yes, my advice to the young people is that we are in an era of smartphone. And like in the past, in the 80s, where people didn't have that kind of a platform to market themselves, to research, to develop ideas, and to take them to market. Any idea is viable, and any idea can take you anywhere you want to do. Or what you need to do is believe in yourself. Be persistent, be resilient, and then be an hard-working fellow. If you want to venture into the world of innovation, it is the shortest way, but very tedious way to get into any platform that you want to get into any class that you want to get. Some of you may remember even Facebook was developed from an hostel room in Harvard University, whereby the 5 founders came up with it. But 2 of them said, oh, we are from Harvard University. How can we enter into an innovation like this? That's the way people are despising my Mkokoteni. They chip off. The 3 of them who are left, that is the 3 founders, are actually the richest, among the richest in the world. So what you need to do with an idea is actually actualize that idea, use all the resources at your disposal to make a prototype of what you have. And once you make that prototype, gear toward making it a commercial item, and concentrate on your original idea. Whom are you targeting? Who is your target market? Because in any innovation, you must have a target audience. If it is farmers, stick to the farmers, don't waver. And don't use shortcuts. Just register your idea, stick to it, concentrate on it, and finally you will bear fruit out of that.
I could not have said it any better, but I'll try. The viability of your idea is actually dependent on you, the innovator, the original person that had the idea. Yes, you'll hear lots of no's. Yes, you'll hear from people that have seemingly tried it and failed. Yes, you'll hear that this thing will not work, maybe doubters along the way. But the viability of it or it coming to life is highly dependent on you. And if you can just stay with it, have the grit to remain steadfast, sticking to your original vision, being able to pivot when you need to, but being able to remain steadfast in what you're doing, you will definitely bear the fruit of it. And all you need to do is just remain consistent. Sometimes the things sort of like just come together as you go along. As you heard it from Kenneth, how is it that he was going to board a matatu? He needed the finances. And then he sees an advert from someone who's reading a newspaper next to him. Sometimes the ideas and the help that you need to actualize your idea is right in front of you or just around you. You just have to be able to open your eyes but remain steadfast, because if you do, it will definitely come together. I hope you've been inspired, challenged, encouraged. If you're one of those people who had something that was maybe burning in your heart and you left it because someone told you, no, please go and dig it up and be able to stay with it. Try it again and make sure that you give it your best shot, so that at the end of the day, you can know that you did your part and you will be able to see the fruit of what you have invested, because I know that it will definitely work out if you stay the course. Today has been yet another inspiration from an innovator who shared his story. That's what we aim to do on this platform, to make sure that you have no excuse whatsoever and make sure that you are inspired enough to be able to do something wherever you are with what you have. Your idea is viable, and that viability is solely dependent on you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I have been your host and also a recipient of so much inspiration today from Kenneth. Thinking of the problems around us as opportunities to resolve challenges, but also to innovate. I believe that we have the resilience, we have the ideas, we have what it takes to be able to address the problems or the challenges around us through innovation. I hope you've been inspired and challenged and encouraged, just as I have. Please like, share, leave your comments in the comment section below. What did you think of his process? What did you think of his idea? What did you think, or what resonated most with you? Was it the idea of being told no? Have you also encountered help along the way? Because I believe that's a possibility for many innovators. We'd love to hear from you. My name is Stella Bogonko, co-founder and CEO, Jacob's Ladder Africa, and this is Green Jobs Africa.